see it played. The game is John Southard's Drive on Frankfurt, or DOF. Counterattack magazine game, published in issue number 1. There are 3 reasons why I'm playing DOF. So early on when I read about this game online, I noticed that this game had a high percentage of comments along the lines of undiscovered gem or diamond in the rough, or other comments like that. So it led me to believe that this game is going to deliver a play experience that is beyond the apparent sum of its parts. Second reason why I'm playing this game is that, again, my reading of the game before getting it and what I've read of the rules so far leads me to believe that it's a very smooth playing game, and there are times when smooth playing is really important to me as a gamer for a gaming experience, but also smooth playing for a World War III NATO versus Warsaw Pact is a special achievement. And the third reason is a game mechanic. Haven't even gotten to it yet, but I hope to get to it when we have our first combat loss. But this game uses random draw of strength, basically random draw of combat strengths as units lose steps. So a very, very interesting mechanic. Very interesting mechanic there, and to think that that was put into a standard magazine format, probably I'm guessing 200 counter sheet or thereabouts. These are half inch counters, but interesting mechanic, and we'll be getting to that. So those are 3 reasons why I was going to get this game out and give it a try. Okay, not representative of good play or not representative of anything. I'm going to go ahead and go to the end phase. Yeah, at the very least, I think NATO could push themselves farther in this first turn, but in the interest of getting through gameplay and mechanics, we have an end phase. So the impulses are done. The alternating Soviet and NATO impulses are done. We go to the end phase. First, we attempt to remove disrupt and jam markers. So there are disrupt markers like that, which so far I know come from bombardment. And then we have area jam markers, interesting concept. And we have formation jam markers. So all of those are part of play. So we try to remove those. Then we flip all units face up. So remember that as these units, as they're available for activation, they have all of their factors showing. When they're done acting, they flip over so that only their defense factor is showing. And so all of these units that are flipped over, having been activated, I'm going to flip them all over to their front sides. And then we replace headquarters units eliminated during the preceding turn, and then we advance the turn marker. So I'm going to flip all the units and get ready for the next turn. So start of the game turn again. Reinforcement phases first. Players consult reinforcement schedule to determine what reinforcements arrive, and secretly plan map edge arrival hexes. So checking the counter mix. Basically, I'm looking for that number on the top left there, 2 for second turn reinforcement. And what I have for the second turn is all of the 11th Guards tank division and 1 EW company, 1 EW company. So I guess in a 2-player game, this hex would be recorded secretly because I guess I would use a formation activation or a general activation to bring these units on during the impulses at some point, but playing solitaire, I am going to go ahead and assign them to that reinforcement hex right there, because my idea is to just drive them down, get on the Autobahn here and drive down the center. I think I have to get through Bad Hersfeld right there, and then try to see which axis makes the most progress. So air allocation phase, but that's only on turns 3, 5, and 7. So I'll skip that. We'll get to that next turn. Then we move on to the third phase, the barrage phase. Okay, turns 2 through 8. Okay, so that's now. So we have a Soviet bombardment. The Soviet player may conduct 1 bombardment, and so if I were to so as I understand it, if I was to bombard with this DAG, this division artillery group here, I would do my bombardment and then I would flip it over. So, okay, well, it says flip it over, so, all right, we'll see what that means. Then it's a NATO bombardment, the exact same thing. Conduct 1 bombardment, flip over the bombarding units. Then players alternate until neither wishes to conduct any more. So actually I will check, because I could do some bombardments up here. Okay, if I said DAG here, this is actually a RAG, Regimental Artillery Group. The writing is small. I'm not gonna lie, that writing is small, but it is. I probably said DAG. Should have said RAG. But okay, so probably no good tactics whatsoever, but for mechanics purposes, this is the DAG. That is the Division Artillery Group right there. And so we're going to walk through this, and because I would actually like the DAG there to try to disrupt the American Armored Reconnaissance Company right there. Now they are in urban, so I'm not even sure if this is possible, but we'll see. So in this example, we should be able to figure out spotting. We should be able to figure out the range effects, and then the actual bombardment mechanics for artillery. Now, the one thing is for these values on here. So it's the 27th Guards Motor Rifle Division. That's on the top right. The one on the top left is the turn that it came in on. Again, the unit designation, Division Artillery Group, Field Artillery NATO symbol. The orange stripe there shows its formation, affiliation. Now the +1 / +0 in this case, that is the attack, that is the deliberate, and the deliberate / assault support modifier, and then the 9 with the 7 superscript is the bombardment value of 9 to a range of 7. Now what was throwing me off is that it's exactly identical on the back side. So I'm not sure what that means. But it's going to be flipped over after it bombards. But I mean, the other combat units have their attack and movement value. Well, artillery does not have a movement value on them. It is set at 5. These other combat units, so this armored battalion does have a movement value of 5, the lower right. Yeah, there are no printed movement values, movement allowances for the artillery. It's just set at 5, so you don't have to have that on the. But still, I'm not sure why they're identical on both sides. But anyways, so now we'll go through. So I'm assuming that he can use that the 9 bombardment value out to a range of 7, which easily takes in the Americans 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But let's see the rest of the mechanics here. Okay, so bombardments during the bombardment phase like this are simply declared. So the 27th Guards DAG here is bombarding. So we go through this procedure. We designate the target unit. I already said the American Armored Reconnaissance Unit there, Armored Cavalry Unit there. Total bombardment values. So it is the 9 from the DAG. I'm just using the 1 unit there. Face down artillery and helicopters may not be used. consult the bombardment table. Okay, so I've got my bombardment table there. Well, I guess we can go ahead and find the first. So again, it's the target combat artillery headquarters base EW. So it's a combat unit with a bombardment value of 9. So that's my starting column. Then we go to, okay, the next step is determine range from spotter. So count the distance from target hex to a spotting unit. So a spotting unit is the unit is nearest to the target hex and that is of the same nationality. So it's a Soviet unit. So I guess the armored unit with the artillery could be the spotting unit. Okay, that unit is neither disrupted. We already talked about that. There is disruption. It's not disrupted and it's not area jammed. And for Soviet or Western bombardment only, so this is a Soviet bombardment, within 4 hexes of a superior headquarters, so we can use the 27th Guards headquarters, which is neither disrupted nor area jammed. The bombarding unit may spot for itself if it meets the above requirements. The bombardment table lists spotting distance. Well, actually, they're in the same hex, so there's no difference, but it's 5 hexes to the target. So I think we're going to go spotting distance, Soviet 4 to 6. Okay, so it's 2 left columns. That actually makes sense. So 9 down to the 6th column. So now we're down there. Okay, so that's the adjustment. So that is in effect a range adjustment also. But just to finish this off, there is no limit on the spotting unit's distance from the bombarding units. The spotting, yeah, nor is there any maximum spotting distance. Okay, all right. Okay, so we have our adjusted column, and the only other thing we're going to use is we're going to use the terrain modifier, which you would expect. So if the American armored cavalry is in urban hex, target is in urban hex -2. So it's the 6th column here with a -2 DRM. Bad luck for the Soviets. They rolled a 3 -2 for the terrain is 1. It's easily nothing, no effect at all.